Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. You know how much we love exploring these fascinating topics, and today we're going deep into something we all do, but might not fully appreciate.
Mhm.
Sleeping. We're cracking open Conrad Reicher's Sleep, the essential guide to reclaiming your vitality.
Yeah, this book was a real eye-opener. It really digs into why sleep is so much more than just hitting the snooze button.
Totally. And it's not just about feeling well rested. It's crucial for our physical and mental health, even our longevity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Reichel makes a strong case for seeing sleep as a fundamental biological need, not a luxury we can skimp on whenever we're busy.
Right. Like seriously, did you know that sleep deprivation has been used as a form of torture throughout history?
It's a pretty dark side to something we often take for granted. Riker talks about how it was used in ancient Rome during the Spanish Inquisition and even in modern interrogation techniques.
Makes you think twice about pulling those all-nighters, huh?
Definitely. It highlights just how essential sleep is for our basic functioning. And it's not just about feeling tired. It can mess with your concentration, your mood, and even put your health at risk.
It's kind of scary when you think about it. We might think we're just losing a few hours here and there, but the consequences can be way more serious than we realize.
That's one of the things I appreciate about Riker's book. He doesn't sugarcoat the science. He lays out the facts in a way that's both fascinating and a little bit alarming.
Oh yeah. Speaking of alarming, did you read about the glymphatic system? I had never even heard of it before.
That was a new one for me, too. But it makes so much sense. It's like our brain has its own cleaning crew that comes in while we sleep.
Wait, seriously, what does it do?
So basically, it's this network of vessels and cells in the brain that clears out waste products while we're snoozing. And get this, it mainly works during sleep,
So if we don't sleep enough, it's like letting the trash pile up in our brains.
pretty much. And that buildup can lead to all sorts of problems with memory focus and even increase the risk of cognitive decline.
Okay, that is officially terrifying. My brain needs its beauty sleep, apparently.
We all do. When the glymphatic system is working properly, it's like a nightly tune-up for your brain, leading to better memory, sharper thinking, and overall brain health.
So better sleep equals a cleaner, healthier brain. I can get behind that. And it's not just our brains, right? This whole sleep thing affects our entire bodies.
Absolutely. You know how people always try to push through on minimal sleep, thinking they can just power through?
Oh yeah, guilty is charged. I always think an extra hour of work or fun is worth it.
But the science says otherwise. Our bodies do a lot of repair work while we sleep. That's when muscle repair and growth mainly happens.
Really, so even if I'm hitting the gym regularly, if I'm not sleeping enough, I'm not getting the full benefits.
Exactly. And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Mhm.
Our immune system relies on sleep to function properly. So if you're constantly sleep deprived, you're more likely to get sick.
Oh great. Just what I needed another reason to stress about sleep.
Don't stress, just sleep. And here's another one. Sleep affects our metabolism and those hormones that control hunger and feeling full. So it even plays a role in weight management.
Wow, sleep really is the ultimate multitasker, working on all these essential functions while we're out cold. So whether you're hitting the gym, trying to avoid getting sick, or just wanting to stay healthy, sleep is your secret weapon.
It's the foundation of a healthy body and a healthy mind, too.
Oh, right. We talked about brains and bodies, but what about our mental and emotional state? Does sleep impact that too?
It's a huge factor. In fact, I think the link between sleep and how we feel emotionally is even more powerful than we realize.
Okay, I'm listening. What does Riker say about this connection?
Well, he really dives into how crucial sleep is for managing our emotions.
Hmm.
Think about it. When you're well rested, you can handle stress better, you're less irritable, and you don't get as anxious.
Yeah, I know I'm a total grump when I'm running on empty, so that my patience just disappears.
Exactly. And the flip side is that not getting enough sleep can actually make things like depression and anxiety even worse. It creates this nasty cycle.
So basically, if you're struggling with your mental health, good sleep is even more important.
Definitely. On the other hand, people who prioritize sleep tend to have better emotional intelligence. They're more self-aware, more empathetic, and better at navigating relationships.
So it's not just about avoiding meltdowns, it's about building stronger connections with the people we care about. That's pretty amazing.
It is. It's like sleep gives us the emotional bandwidth to connect with others on a deeper level.
Right, I'm sold. Sleep is officially a non-negotiable for a well-rounded life. But the question is, how do we actually make it happen? It's one thing to understand why sleep is important, but actually getting a good night's rest consistently, that's a different story.
That's where Riker's book gets really practical. He goes beyond the usual sleep hygiene tips and gives a more holistic approach to optimizing your sleep. He's all about understanding your own sleep needs and creating the perfect environment for your mind and body to thrive.
Okay, I am all ears. Well, I think we could all use a little help in the sleep department, so let's hear those practical tips.
One of the biggest things Riker talks about is setting a regular sleep schedule. Your body loves routine, so try to go to bed and wake up around the same time every day, even on weekends.
That's always been my downfall. Weekends feel like the time to catch up on sleep.
Mm.
But I guess consistency is key.
Think of it as an investment in yourself. And it's not just about the timing either. Riker also recommends creating a relaxing routine before bed to signal to your body that it's time to wind down.
Like what? Taking a bath, reading a book.
Exactly. Things like that. Or listening to calming music or doing some relaxation techniques. The key is to create a ritual that helps you transition from the busyness of the day to a state of rest.
I've tried those things before, but I'm not very consistent. Maybe this deep dive will be the motivation I need to get serious about it.
It's worth it. And of course, we can't talk about sleep without talking about the elephant in the room, technology.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my phone is surgically attached to my hand.
Well, Riker goes into a lot of detail about how the blue light from our screens messes with our melatonin production.
Melatonin being that hormone that regulates our sleep cycle.
Right, exactly. So when we're scrolling through our phones or watching TV late at night, we're basically telling our brains to stay awake.
So even if we're physically tired, our minds might still be buzzing, making it harder to fall asleep.
Exactly. It's all about setting boundaries with technology and creating a digital detox zone for sleep.
A digital detox zone. I like that. What does that look like?
Well, for starters, try turning off all your devices an hour or two before bed. That gives your brain a chance to unwind without the constant stimulation.
I've heard that before, but I'm terrible at actually doing it.
It's tough. Raker suggests starting small. Even just 30 minutes of screen-free time before bed can make a difference. And gradually increase that time as you get more comfortable with it.
Okay, baby steps. I can try that. What else can we do to minimize that tech impact?
Another good one is to make your bedroom a completely tech-free zone. Don't bring your phone or laptop into bed. Create that separation between sleep and screen time.
You're right. I'm totally guilty of scrolling through social media in bed. It's like a bad habit.
We all have them. But being mindful of how our tech habits affect our sleep is a good first step. And if you absolutely have to use your devices before bed, try using blue light blocking glasses or switch to night mode on your phone.
Those blue light blocking glasses, do they really work?
The research is still kind of iffy, but some people find them helpful. It's worth a shot if you're struggling to fall asleep.
I'm willing to try anything at this point. This whole conversation has really opened my eyes to how much I've been neglecting my sleep.
You're not alone. It's a common problem in our always-on culture. We're so connected and plugged in that we forget how important rest and rejuvenation are.
So true. It's like we've lost touch with our natural rhythms.
But the good news is we can reclaim them. We can choose to prioritize sleep and create a more balanced and fulfilling life.
I'm definitely feeling inspired to make some changes. I'm ready to break free from the digital chains and embrace the power of sleep.
That's what I like to hear. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Rager's book is a great resource, and there are tons of experts and communities out there to support you.
Well, this deep dive has been incredibly eye-opening. I feel much more knowledgeable and empowered to take control of my sleep.
That's what it's all about. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to something as essential as sleep.
I completely agree. And speaking of knowledge, there's one more area I want to touch on before we wrap up this part. Riker talks about sleep and creativity, which I find fascinating. Is there any truth to the idea that sleep can make us more creative?
There is. It turns out sleep plays a big role in memory and problem solving, so it makes sense that it would also boost our creativity.
Okay, I'm intrigued. How does that work?
During sleep, our brains are busy processing information, making connections, and coming up with new ideas. It's like our subconscious minds are working on creative projects while we're sleeping.
I love that. It's like our brains are having a creative party while we're snoozing. I've definitely had moments of inspiration strike right before I fall asleep or just after waking up.
That's your subconscious heart at work. And those insights aren't just random. They're often the result of your brain wrestling with challenges and making connections that you wouldn't have made consciously.
So sleep is like an incubator for creativity.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
it is. And it's not just about coming up with ideas either. Sleep also helps us evaluate those ideas more objectively, to see things from a fresh perspective.
So it's like sleep helps us edit and refine our creative work.
Exactly. Sleep is crucial for both the generation and the refinement of creative ideas. It's like a hidden superpower that we all possess.
I'm starting to see sleep as an essential tool for anyone who wants to tap into their creative potential. Artists, writers, musicians, entrepreneurs, anyone.
Absolutely. It's all about giving your brain the time and space it needs to do its best work.
I'm feeling so inspired after this conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I need to carve out more time for sleep, not just for my health, but for my creativity too.
That's the spirit. Embrace the power of sleep and watch your creativity flourish.
Well, after all that talk about sleep and its amazing benefits, I think I might need a power nap to let all this information sink in.
Sounds like a good plan. We'll be back soon to continue our exploration of sleep, the essential guide to reclaiming your vitality.
Stay tuned, folks. There's more sleep magic to come.
Sweet dreams. Welcome back, everyone. Let's keep this sleep train rolling.
I'm on board. I'm definitely feeling more energized after that last segment. Maybe it's the power of suggestion.
Maybe. Or maybe your glymphatic system is thanking you for paying attention.
Could be. So where do we go from here?
Well, we've talked about how crucial sleep is for our brains, bodies, and even our emotions. But there's another aspect Riker explores that I think is particularly relevant in today's fast-paced world.
And that is?
Aging and sleep.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. I've definitely noticed changes in my sleep as I've gotten older. I don't seem to sleep as soundly as I used to, and I wake up more during the night. Is that normal?
It is. Riker explains that as we age, our sleep cycles naturally become more fragmented. We tend to get less of that deep sleep that's so restorative, and we have more awakenings throughout the night. It's like our internal sleep clock gets a little rusty.
So those middle-of-the-night wake-up calls aren't just me losing my mind. There's an actual physiological reason for it.
Exactly. It's a natural part of getting older. But that doesn't mean we have to resign ourselves to restless nights and groggy days. Riker provides strategies for adapting our sleep habits as we age so we can still get the rest we need.
Okay, that's good to know. I'm not ready to throw in the towel on good sleep just yet. So what are some of the things we can do to improve our sleep quality as we get older?
Well, for one thing, paying attention to your sleep environment becomes even more important as you age. Make sure your bedroom is cool, dark and quiet. Invest in blackout curtains, earplugs, or a white noise machine if you need to. It's all about minimizing distractions and maximizing comfort.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess our senses might become more sensitive to light noise and temperature changes as we age. It's like we need a little extra help to create that peaceful sleep sanctuary.
Exactly. Another helpful tip is to be mindful of your diet and exercise habits. Regular physical activity can actually help you sleep better, but avoid exercising too close to bedtime.
So that evening workout might be backfiring.
It could be.
Yeah.
And be mindful of caffeine and alcohol, especially later in the day. They can interfere with sleep quality.
Got it. So it's about finding that balance, right?
Yeah.
You're in staying active, eating well, and creating a healthy sleep routine.
Exactly. And it's not just about feeling good in the moment. It's about protecting our health in the long run. Speaking of which, Riker also dives into a fascinating topic that often gets overlooked, the link between sleep and longevity.
Okay, now you're talking my language. Is there some secret sleep formula for a longer lifespan?
It's not that simple,
Yeah.
but research has shown a strong correlation between consistently getting good sleep and living a longer, healthier life.
I guess it makes sense when you think about all the ways sleep impacts our health, from our heart and immune system to our mental and emotional well-being.
It's like sleep is the foundation for a vibrant and fulfilling life. And on the other hand, chronic sleep deprivation can increase our risk for all sorts of health problems like heart disease, diabetes, obesity, even some types of cancer.
So it's not just about feeling tired. It's about protecting our health and potentially adding years to our lives.
It's preventative medicine. It's not just about feeling good today. It's about investing in your future well-being.
This is making me want to prioritize sleep even more. I'm all about maximizing my health span, and it seems like sleep is a key ingredient in that equation. But it's not just about the quantity of sleep, right? Riker also talks about the importance of sleep quality.
Absolutely. It's not enough to just log in a certain number of hours. We need to make sure we're cycling through all the different stages of sleep properly, including deep sleep and REM sleep. That's when the real magic happens.
So it's like a sleep symphony.
Yeah.
And each movement plays a crucial role in restoring our bodies and minds.
Exactly. And when one of those movements is off, the whole symphony suffers.
This conversation is really highlighting the complexity of sleep. It's not just about closing your eyes and drifting off. There's a whole world of science and wonder happening beneath the surface. And it affects everything from our physical health to our mental well-being to how long we live.
And the more we understand about that world, the better equipped we are to optimize our sleep and live our best lives.
Well said. Now, I know we touched on technology and sleep earlier, but I'd love to dive a bit deeper into that. It's such a relevant topic these days, with everyone being constantly connected.
It is. Riker dedicates a good chunk of his book to exploring this very issue. It's no secret that our tech habits can wreak havoc on our sleep.
It's kind of ironic, right? We have all these amazing devices and apps designed to make our lives easier, but they often end up being the very things keeping us up at night.
It's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, we have access to information, entertainment, and connection like never before. But on the other hand, that constant stimulation can seriously disrupt our sleep.
We talked about the blue light issue before, how it messes with our melatonin production. But it's not just the blue light itself, right? It's also the content we're consuming before bed.
Exactly. Whether it's a suspenseful movie, a heated political debate on Twitter, or even just catching up on work emails, all that mental stimulation can keep our brains buzzing long after we've turned off our devices.
It's like our minds are stuck in overdrive even when our bodies are exhausted.
We've become so accustomed to being constantly stimulated that we've forgotten how to truly disconnect and unwind.
It's like we're addicted to our devices. And breaking free from that addiction can be tough.
It's definitely a challenge, but it's not impossible. Riker offers some practical tips for managing technology use and reclaiming our sleep. One of the simplest but most effective is to establish a digital curfew.
A digital curfew. I like the sound of that. Tell me more.
It's basically setting a time limit for technology use in the hours leading up to bedtime. Try turning off all your devices an hour or two before you plan to sleep. Give your brain a chance to wind down without the constant bombardment of notifications and blue light.
I hear you. But honestly, I've always struggled to disconnect. My phone feels like an extension of my arm.
I get it. It's a habit that takes time and effort to break. Riker suggests starting small. Even just 30 minutes of screen-free time before bed can make a difference, and you can gradually increase that time as you get more comfortable.
Okay. Baby steps. I can do that. What else can we do?
Another great tip is to make your bedroom a tech-free sanctuary. Resist the urge to check your phone or watch TV in bed. When your brain sees your bed, it should automatically switch into sleep mode, not catch up on work mode.
You're so right. I'm totally guilty of scrolling through social media in bed. It's become my nightly ritual. But I'm starting to see how that habit might be sabotaging my sleep.
It's all about creating those healthy sleep associations, and if you absolutely have to use your devices before bed, try using blue light blocking glasses or switching your phone to night mode.
I've seen those blue light blocking glasses advertised everywhere. Do they actually work?
The research is still kind of mixed on that one, but some people find them helpful, especially if they have trouble falling asleep. It's worth experimenting to see what works for you.
This is making me rethink my whole relationship with technology. It's supposed to make our lives easier, but sometimes it feels like it's running the show.
It's all about finding that balance. Technology can be a wonderful tool, but we need to be mindful of how we use it, especially when it comes to something as essential as sleep.
This deep dive is making me realize just how much I've been neglecting my sleep. And I know I'm not alone in that. It's become a cultural norm to sacrifice sleep for work, entertainment, or just staying connected.
It's true. But we don't have to live that way. We can make a conscious choice to prioritize sleep, to reclaim our vitality and live more balanced, fulfilling lives.
I'm ready to make that choice. I'm done with the sleep deprivation cycle. It's time to embrace the power of sleep.
That's the spirit. And remember, you don't have to go it alone. Conrad Riker's book is a great place to start, and there are so many other resources and communities out there to support you.
This whole conversation has been a real eye-opener. I'm feeling much more knowledgeable and empowered to take control of my sleep.
That's fantastic. Knowledge is power, and when it comes to sleep, that power can transform your life.
Speaking of transformation, there's one more area I want to touch on before we wrap up this part. Riker talks about the connection between sleep and chronic pain, which I find really interesting.
That's an important one. Sleep often gets overlooked when it comes to pain management, but it plays a crucial role.
I've noticed that I am definitely more sensitive to pain when I'm tired, but I never really understood why. Is there a scientific explanation for that?
There is. Riker explains that sleep is essential for regulating our body's inflammatory response. And when we're sleep deprived, our inflammation levels tend to go up, which can make pain feel worse.
So it's not just in my head. There's a real physiological reason why lack of sleep intensifies pain.
Exactly. And it's not just about the intensity of the pain either. Sleep deprivation can also slow down the healing process, which can make it harder to recover from injuries or chronic pain conditions.
This is making me think about all the times I've tried to power through pain. Maybe what I really needed was a good night's sleep.
Sometimes the best thing we can do for our bodies is to rest and allow them to heal. And sleep is a crucial part of that healing process.
It's like sleep is this secret weapon in our pain management arsenal. It's not about masking the symptoms, it's about addressing the underlying issue and giving our bodies what they need to repair and recover.
Exactly. And it's not just about physical pain either. Sleep also plays a huge role in managing emotional pain.
Oh yeah, I know when I'm sleep deprived, even the smallest things can set me off. It's like my fuse is way shorter.
That's because sleep is essential for emotional regulation. When we're well rested, we're better able to cope with stress, manage our moods, and maintain healthy relationships.
But when we're sleep deprived, it's like our emotional control centers go haywire.
Exactly. We become more irritable, anxious, and prone to conflict. It's like we're walking around with our emotions on high alert.
This is all making so much sense now. Sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It's about setting ourselves up for success in every area of our lives. From our physical health to our relationships to our ability to cope with the challenges that life throws our way.
It's the foundation upon which a thriving life is built. And it's something that's within our control. We have the power to choose sleep.
I'm feeling inspired to make that choice. No more excuses. It's time to prioritize sleep and reclaim my vitality.
That's what I like to hear. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Conrad Reicher's book is a great resource, and there are countless others out there to support you on your journey to better sleep.
This deep dive has been incredibly eye-opening. I'm feeling much more knowledgeable and empowered to take control of my sleep.
That's wonderful to hear. Knowledge is power, and when it comes to sleep, that power can transform your life.
Before we wrap up this part, there's one more area I want to explore. Riker talks about the connection between sleep and creativity, which I find really intriguing. Is there any truth to the claim that sleep can boost creativity?
Absolutely. Riker devotes a whole chapter to this very topic, and the research is quite compelling. It turns out sleep plays a key role in memory consolidation, problem solving, and even the generation of new ideas.
Okay, I'm listening. How does that work? How does sleep actually boost creativity?
Well, during sleep, our brains are busy processing information, making connections, and generating those aha moments. It's like our subconscious minds are working on creative projects while we're sleeping.
So it's like giving our brains a chance to play and experiment without the constraints of conscious thought. I've definitely had moments of inspiration strike right before I fall asleep or just after waking up. It's like my brain is suddenly flooded with ideas.
That's your subconscious mind at work. And these insights aren't just random. They're often the result of your brain working through challenges and making connections that you might not have made consciously.
So sleep is like an incubator for creativity. That's pretty amazing.
It is. And it's not just about coming up with new ideas either. Sleep also helps us evaluate those ideas more objectively, to see them from a fresh perspective.
So it's like sleep helps us edit our creative work to refine it and make it even better.
Exactly. Sleep is crucial for both the generation and the refinement of creative ideas. It's like a secret weapon that we all have access to.
This is making me want to rethink my whole approach to creativity. Maybe instead of pulling all-nighters, I should be prioritizing sleep.
Sometimes the best thing we can do for our creative process is to step away and let our subconscious minds take over. And sleep provides the perfect space for that to happen.
I'm starting to see sleep as an essential tool for anyone who wants to unlock their creative potential.
It is. It's all about giving your brain the time and space it needs to work its magic.
I'm feeling incredibly inspired after this conversation. Like I need to carve out more time for sleep, not just for my physical and mental health, but for my creative well-being too.
That's fantastic to hear. Embrace the power of sleep and watch your creativity flourish.
After all that talk about sleep, I think I might need to take a power nap to let all this information sink in.
Maybe we both could use a little break. We'll be back soon to wrap up our deep dive into sleep, the essential guide to reclaiming your vitality.
Stay tuned, folks. There's more to come. And we're back for the final stretch of our sleep odyssey. Are you ready to wrap this up?
I am. I'm feeling well rested and ready to tackle this last bit.
Perfect. So we've covered a lot of ground already, from the history of sleep deprivation to its effects on our brains, bodies, emotions, and creativity.
It's amazing how much sleep affects every aspect of our lives.
It really is. And today we're going to zoom in on something that's particularly important to me, and I mean that quite literally. The connection between sleep and heart health.
This is where the science gets really compelling. We've known for a while that sleep deprivation is linked to various health problems, but the research on its impact on the cardiovascular system is particularly eye-opening.
So what's the connection? How does sleep affect our hearts?
One of the key findings is that sleep deprivation can really mess with your blood pressure. When you're constantly not getting enough sleep, your body's stress response system goes into overdrive. This leads to an increase in hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which can cause your blood pressure to spike.
So those all-nighters aren't just making us feel wired, they're putting our hearts under serious stress.
Exactly. And it's not just about the short-term effects. Chronic sleep deprivation can contribute to long-term high blood pressure, which is a major risk factor for heart disease and stroke.
This is making me rethink my whole "I'll sleep when I'm dead" philosophy. It seems like neglecting sleep might actually be a shortcut to an early grave.
It's definitely not doing your heart any favors. Sleep is essential for a healthy functioning body, and that includes your cardiovascular system.
So besides the obvious getting enough sleep, what else can we do to protect our hearts?
As we've discussed before, establishing a consistent sleep schedule is crucial. Your body loves routine, and that includes your heart. Aim to go to bed and wake up around the same time each day, even on weekends.
I know. I know the weekend sleep-in is a tough habit to break. But I guess a healthier heart is a pretty good motivator.
It's all about priorities. And another thing that can help is creating a relaxing pre-sleep routine.
Like what? A warm bath? Reading a book?
Exactly. Anything that helps you de-stress and signal to your body that it's time to wind down.
I can see how managing stress is a big part of this. When I'm stressed, it's harder to fall asleep, and it sounds like that stress could also be affecting my heart.
Absolutely. Stress is a major contributor to heart problems, so finding healthy ways to manage stress, including prioritizing sleep, is essential.
This whole conversation has really highlighted how crucial sleep is for our overall well-being. It's not just about feeling rested. It's about taking care of ourselves on a much deeper level.
Well said. It's an investment in your health and happiness.
And speaking of investing, I think that's a good segue to remind our listeners about Conrad Reicher's book, Sleep, The Essential Guide to Reclaiming Your Vitality.
Yes. If you're looking for a comprehensive guide to understanding and optimizing your sleep, this book is a fantastic resource.
It's packed with insights, practical tips, and fascinating scientific research. It's a real eye-opener.
It definitely changed the way I think about sleep, and hopefully it will do the same for you.
You can find Sleep, The Essential Guide to Reclaiming Your Vitality on Amazon Kindle and Google Play Books. So go check it out and start reclaiming your vitality today.
Sweet dreams, everyone.
Sleep well. And that's a wrap on another deep dive. We'll be back soon with another fascinating topic to explore. Until then, take care of yourselves and prioritize your sleep. It's the best gift you can give yourself.